So as a seaweed farmer, people want to know what the heck you do with seaweed. Actually, I should qualify. I'm not quite a seaweed farmer yet. I'm a wannabe seaweed farmer, but that's going to change here real quick. I was actually out crabbing today, and I pulled up my crab pot, and up came some sugar kelp. So I thought we would cook it up, show you what it looks like when you cook it, and then we'll make a nice seaweed salad. All right, so all you need is a little bit of boiling water. Put that brown seaweed, that sugar kelp right in there. Look at that. Almost instantly turns this beautiful shade of green. A little bit more of that in there. Basically what we're doing is we're blanching it, getting rid of some of the salty flavor. You can eat it raw, but it is a little bit too salty for my taste. So we cook it for about 10 seconds. Get rid of some of that salt that's on there. And it's done. All right, let's take that out of there. Look at that, chock full of protein. Got omega-3s, a bunch of zinc, potassium, your B vitamins, a lot of calcium too. 10 times more calcium than milk. Who knew? All right, so these are our ingredients. It's pretty simple. Sugar kelp, or any kind of kelp that you can get in a bag. Toasted sesame seeds, some sesame oil, some scallions, a little tamari or soy sauce, spicy pepper, gotta love the spice, some horseradish, bell pepper, and some ginger. All right, so we got all our ingredients here. We got our fresh sugar kelp right here, and you know, not everybody's gonna have access to that. So there's a lot of different seaweed products that you can get. A lot of times though, you're gonna have to go to your Asian market. We've got a couple here in Seattle. There's one called a Wajimaya. You may have an H Mart in your town. But there's a lot of different products. Here's some delicious kelp that comes in a bag like this. It's actually pretty heavily, I don't know if it's brined or salted, but you dump it in, rinse it, you've got some beautiful seaweed. So let's get into making the seaweed salad. Pretty simple. I'm actually gonna do 2 batches. I'm gonna do it with the fresh and with the bagged. So we're gonna add a little color, make it nice and springtimey. Our scallions, AKA green onions, whichever you prefer. Throw in some of these red peppers. I actually don't know what these are. They kind of look like a jalapeno. Red to me means spicy though, so I like a little spice. Throw in some sesame seeds, I don't know, half a teaspoon. I'm not real big into measuring. Go like that. A little bit of your sesame oil in both. Throw a little bit of that tamari, soy sauce, and then I like a little horseradish. I usually just chop it up with a knife, but my mom got me this cool grater. It might be a zester, I'm not sure, but grate up some of this fresh horseradish. Can't find the fresh, which I just got in the produce section. You can get it out of the jar. Fresh is more fun though. And then a little bit of fresh ginger. Throw some of that in there. Scrape it off the back. A little bit of the fresh in here. Nice. Okay. Stir that up. I think this one needs a little bit more of that bell pepper. Keep that color alive. This one looks just about perfect. All right. Let's eat that up. That's good. Let's try this one over here. Pardon me. Oh, that's real good too. All right, so fresh seaweed salad. So if you've watched this far, I'm guessing that you've got at least somewhat of an interest in seaweed. So with that, I've got an ask. And it's actually a pretty easy ask, and it's this: buy seaweed. So for a lot of folks, it's not that easy to get seaweed. I mean, it's not in your Safeway and your Albertson on every aisle. Having said that, it's not that hard. If you live in a big city, you've probably got a pretty large Asian market. If you live in a smaller town, I can almost guarantee you there's going to be smaller Asian markets that are going to be carrying seaweed products. I mean, I just thought the packaging on these items was funny. I mean, these people are having a good time eating their seaweed, aren't they? And you know, everybody's got a Costco. In the last year or so, they've been carrying more and more products. Most of them are nori based, nothing wrong with nori, but I'm hoping that they start to get some more red and brown seaweed products. And while your local grocery store, your Safeways and your Albertsons don't have a lot of stuff, if you look a little bit, they do have a few products. I think if you check by your tofu, they're going to have some of those noodles, maybe some of those seaweed blades like I used in the salad. And certainly you could ask the produce manager for it. So the global market for seaweed right now is about a $15 billion market, with about 97% of that being grown in Asia. Top 5 countries are China, Philippines, Korea, Indonesia. Number 5 actually is North Korea. I think they grow about 2 or 3% of the annual. The US, on the other hand, is 0.01%. $680 million last year on seaweed. Put that in perspective. Last year, Americans bought about $8 billion worth of bubble gum. Actually, take that back, worth of chewing gum. That includes your juicy fruit as well as your double bubble. Now, I love a piece of juicy fruit, big red, just like everybody else, but I think we could do a little bit better. Spend a little bit more money on seaweed.